want you to think about the last time somebody got mad at you or upset or felt bad about something that you said or did, but quite frankly, you didn't mean it in the way they took it. Okay, this is a really great way to start, because our number one strategy here to stop taking things personally is to assume that others have the best intentions. Now, that's not easy. It's definitely easier said than done.
Yeah.
But I want you to think about this. If you actually went into every situation with the belief that the other person in this conversation had good intentions, had the best of intentions, you would be less likely to jump to a negative conclusion. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just give you an example. When I was a young practicing attorney, one day I was walking through the hallway and one of my partners, who was a really big deal at our firm, walked by me.
He's kind of a big deal.
He was kind of a big deal. He walked by me that morning and I said, "Hey, Jim," with my big happy smile on. And he literally grumbled. He said something under his breath. I wasn't even sure what he said, but he certainly did not meet me with a friendly hello, but it was in fact more like a "what's good about it" kind of, not a good morning, what's good about it. And I had been out the evening before with him and with a few other attorneys. And so when I said a happy hello to him and he responded in an extremely, like his body language was extremely negative, I was so freaked out because I was just sure that he was mad at me, that I had said something, I had done something. So I was racking my brain. I literally lost so much energy that day, so much productivity. I even called one of my other partners who was there during that meeting and said, "Did I do something to offend him? What have I done?" And I was so worried about it. And it wasn't until later, like way later in that day, I learned that he lost a major, major case that he had been working on for literally years. So he was just in a bad place.
Yeah, good reason to be upset.
He had really good reason to be upset.
But isn't it funny how we, as human beings, like we are narcissistic. I mean, maybe not at the highest level where you have certain people, but for the most part, we are always concerned about like, how is it affecting us?
Yeah.
Why we are the most important one, like people in the world. Well, we should be, right? Because we are ourselves and we have to take care of ourselves and we're protecting ourselves. But it is definitely a type of coat that we wear around, protection to make sure that we don't get hurt.
Yeah.
So we're always on the lookout, and maybe it's that fight or flight thing that we have built into us, that when we are looking for things, you know, it used to be the tiger out in the wild, but now it's more about the personal hurt that we get. And yeah, I'm getting very philosophical right now, so I really want you to appreciate this. But yeah, maybe it is that, you know, that it's really instinctive for us.
Yeah. The need to fit in is so strong for
in society,
beings.
right? For sure.
And so I think one of the things that we're not as intentional enough about, that we could be way more intentional, is to assume that the people you come in contact with have the best intentions, that they're not out to hurt you, that they're not being critical of you, that they're not looking to judge you.
Well, and like you said, you know, with your story, people have bad days. People have bad weeks.
Why did I have to make it about me?
People have bad years. People have, you know, things that are going on in their life. And I think we've done another podcast about this where we talked, you know, about just people, you don't know what's going on in people's lives. And I'm always blown away to hear that people have things going on in their lives that are like really dramatic, tough stuff. Yeah, that you can see why, you know, just them being as positive as they possibly can be is just a lot. Takes a lot of energy for the things that are going on. People have, you know, aging parents. They have people with dementia. They have kids that have medical issues. They have, you know, just
Maybe
people that have died.
Yeah,
whatever. But you don't know what's going on in people's lives. So for us to be looking out for things that are going to hurt us, you know, maybe it's better to be a little bit more positive and a little bit more like intentional. Yeah.
So again, number one strategy is get really intentional about believing that the other person has the best intentions, right? Don't be looking for how they're going to criticize or judge you, but really be thinking that they're in a good place and that they have good intentions.